Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And Merry Christmas, or Christmas Eve for a lot of you. I had the time, and I thought to myself, this is going to be a tough night for a lot of people. I haven't done a live stream on Christmas Eve, and this is prime time Christmas Eve, so some of you that don't have holiday parties, things to do, maybe this will be your place to unload, to unpack some stuff, and possibly tonight even have some call-ins. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there'll be no people because you guys got shit to do. But the topic tonight, the short topic, not the long topic, should I send my ex a Merry Christmas? And other breakup stories unpacked. It's gonna get real quick, but let's just get to this topic out of the way because it's not a difficult one, but 'tis the season, and it's gonna be probably the biggest topic tonight and tomorrow. And you might be surprised, I've been doing breakup coaching for 4 years plus, unpacked a lot of breakup stories with a lot of different people from around the world, and the most common question might really surprise you, and that is, should I send my ex a happy birthday, or will they send me a happy birthday, and what should I do when that happens? So the next most common one would probably be Christmas, but the happy birthday one by far is one of the most common questions post breakup, by far. And it's surprising sometimes to me because I don't think to myself that everyone values birthdays that much, right? But they do. It's a time when you should care, you should be number one, and Christmas probably comes in second for a lot of people. So the short answer to that question, if you're thinking about it, should I send my ex a Merry Christmas? Check your intentions and expectations. And this should be the first thing you do with any interaction with text or calling your ex. Be honest why you're doing it, right? Are you fragile right now? And what has your past interaction led to? These are the questions I'd ask before you send a Merry Christmas. Okay? In my case, it's a no. What's your case? I'm getting nope. Bottom line is if your intentions when you send a Merry Christmas are, oh, maybe we'll get back together. Maybe they'll be nice to me. Maybe they'll love me again. Maybe they'll say something sweet and caring and nurturing. Well, chances are just because it's Christmas, they're not going to change their tune. Right? So that's pie in the sky. Right? Next question. Let's just unpack that a little deeper. Your intentions are, it's really what you want to happen. And it's hidden in your subconscious. And if you ask yourself, what's my intentions? Then it'll be revealed. And a lot of times I'll ask, when someone's in no contact, they'll go, oh, I just want to contact. Well, what's your intention? To get back together. They said they don't want to be with you. Okay, so you're going to be able to get this door slammed in your face again? Your expectations. Do you really think Merry Christmas is going to lead back to the gates of love again? Do you really think that? And can you deal with the fact that if they don't respond kindly or sweetly, you're back down to ground zero? So that's where the next question comes in. Be honest why you're doing it. Why you're actually sending a Merry Christmas. Because for example, I was talking to a client today in a live coaching session. He asked that question if she contacts me. I said, well, look, If you sent me a Merry Christmas, you wouldn't have any expectations. You wouldn't be hurt if I didn't respond. You might wonder a bit. But most of your family members, even your parents, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, you send Merry Christmas, they don't respond. You might think, oh, that was weird, but you wouldn't be hurt. You wouldn't be really upset. See, that's where it's different. That's when if you have if you're fragile right now, you're really fragile with your ex, don't send it. Now, if they send you one and you have the ability to just send them one back, that's fine. But don't carry on and carry on. And if you really are puzzled by the situation, book a live coaching session. Let's unpack your situation, because every breakup's an individual situation. There's nooks and crannies to them all. There's no one size fits all. And that's why I need to know your story. And probably one of the biggest parts is, what has your past interactions been? Have they been good? Did he or she just dump you? Have they told you, I don't want to talk to you again? Christmas isn't going to change that tune. What a lot of people don't realize is when you contact someone post-breakup and they're dug in, they've come up with reasons. They've built a case why they broke up with your ass. And then Merry Christmas is going to change all that? Oh, you said Merry Christmas. Oh my God. I forget about all the reasons I broke up with you. Possible. It's pity seeking. Pity seeking can work with individuals that are highly sensitive, but it's not attractive and it doesn't last. Right? But Merry Christmas is not the road back to getting back to a relationship. So if that's why you're sending one, don't do it. All right, before I get into some stories, we got 7 on deck, 1 like. I'll turn the camera on here in a minute. I got a bright light in my face. I don't have any of the stuff I usually have, but we're going to work here. Mill Billy, who I don't know has been on before, but welcome. No contact for 64 days. Congratulations. That's excellent work. That's highly difficult in most relationships. And, do you feel better for doing it? I said goodbye, walked away. Funny thing is, pulled my energy from her and focused on me, but she assumed there was someone new. Assumptions and lack of communication on her part killed the relationship. It's for the best. She came after me, started it all, then asked for space, so I did that. She plays too many games. Well, I'll just say this. In my experience, a lot of breakups have to happen. And if you do get back together, it's more likely than not that you're going to break up again. Most of the time, the problem hasn't been fixed, or the relationship's just not as strong, and people are more willing to go out the back door and just go, you know what, this isn't working. So those are 2 reasons when you're in no contact or you're not looking back. Now, a couple things that keep people together: kids, finances, deep love, and I'll throw this one at you. They broke up with someone, and the other person had some dignity, acceptance, strength, accepted that thing. They accept it. They say, all right, you know what? That's how you feel? Sit in it. They gave no part, not an inkling of having interest after that moment. Doesn't mean they didn't feel it. Doesn't mean they didn't hurt. Doesn't mean they didn't cry. But they said, you want to break up? You got it. Careful what you wish for. Those are the opportunities when someone might come back to you, hat in hand, pouring rain, punching at your door. Let me in. I want you back. Does it happen a lot? No. Is it going to happen more likely if someone goes no contact or accepts the breakup? Absolutely. Because the other person starts to feel after a month, 2 months, 3 months, oh shit, I no longer have the option to buy. This game might be over. They might be seeing someone else. The tables turn. Mountain Timer, how you doing? You know what I did? It didn't help at all. Tell me what you did. Like I said, maybe later on in the show, if someone wants to call in on Skype. Notice I said Skype just because that's the most convenient thing for me. Some people, oh, I want to use this thing. I'm telling you right now, it's Skype. you want to call in, unpack your breakup, I might be willing to do that if you send your story over. And we can do that live on the live stream if you're up for it. Act like it never happens. What's your YouTube channel about, Millbilly? You know the question you want to come back to? What do you really want, Millbilly? You want this person back or you don't want them back? Rob, what's up? Merry Christmas, bud. University Pipe, Merry Christmas. If they say I went my way and I want you to go yours, then they write Merry Christmas. No, please don't say anything after saying something like that. You go your own way. In the end, do what's good for you. She's 1,000 miles away. Well, that's ashes to ashes, dust to dust, my friend. She initiated everything. Okay. Classic Christmas breakup happens every year. I think tonight what I might do is share some of my writing with you guys about some of the things I'm going to use in my book. I'm thinking about that. I was pulling up some stuff. But just to get back to that, should I send my ex a Merry Christmas? Check your intentions. I mean, people said I cut my losses. What were your losses? A lot of times, if you flip the script and you make a list of all the good times you had with that individual. Was it a good chapter in the book of your life? This might sound grim. This might sound really deep. If you had 10 days to live, would it mean that much that you broke up? Good question, huh? Or would you say, God damn, I cherish that time? I mean, because you're not going to get anything back at that point. Have you ever thought about when you break up, you think that it's going to last forever anyways, and nothing lasts forever? I gave her that card with the gift card via her brother, and she said, thanks, but you didn't have to do that. She is in girlfriend and family now. I'm sad. I'm Mountain Time, we've got to do a live coaching session, man. I mean, don't feel bad. People do it all the time. You send a gift, you send a card, so you think, and it's human nature. It's like, I'm being nice. You should be nice to me because everyone thinks reciprocal. I treat you how you treat me. Breakups are a little different ballgame. Let me just break this down. We got 10 on deck. We can transition over in here. There you go. It's a little smoky in here from the light here. So, listen to me on this, Mountain Timer. MC, it's been a while, hon. How you been? You okay? I hope so. You're good people. Merry Christmas. I actually went out with a girl tonight and totally sucked. I found myself comparing this girl to my ex. It ruined the date too soon. Yes. Listen. Post breakup's tough, man. You're allowed to go on a relationship fast. Right? You're allowed to be on a relationship fast. You're allowed to not date for a little while, and you're allowed to have some bad dates, Mountain Timer, so no sweat off your balls. You know what? It took a lot of guts for you to go on that date from the beginning, so I'll raise a glass to you. All right, bud? You didn't ruin the date. You're just not ready. It's too soon. It's fine. It's okay. The fact that you could get a date tonight on Christmas Eve, go for you. It's just not good timing. And the fact that you comparing the girl to the ex, it happens all the time. I've had it happen in my life many, many, many times. There's a reason that not every girl ends up your girlfriend or your wife. It takes time to choose, right? So don't sweat it, bud. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. And a lot of people give the card and the gift, even though they got their heart handed to them months before. It happens. You've already done it. Now deal with it. And people come to me all the time. They have a note. Had someone recently 2 days ago, has a long note written, detailed, well written, beautiful letter, beautiful words. Guy's a wordsmith. I said, don't send this. What you don't realize when you send out a long letter or you give a gift, a lot of times you're doing it for you. I want them to notice me. I want them to feel for me. Once they've broken up with you, they've built a case. They have their reasons. And then you go, hey, if I'm nice to you, would you change your mind? Now let's flip the situation here. Let's change the whole dynamic. Let's say you're going to buy a house, right? And someone's a really pushy real estate agent. They're like, look, you better get on top of this house because we're having 10 offers, which is possible in a lot of real estate markets in the States right now. And it looks like you're not going to get it. And if I'm not your agent, you're not going to have the inside track because I know the owner of the house, this, that, and the other, and you just feel off. You feel off. You're like, this guy's a creep. He's too pushy. There's something not right here. And actually, there's some problems with the house that he's overlooking. Okay? Okay. So, he goes on and on and on. And then you say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to work with you. I just don't feel like it's right. After you sat down for a while, you broke bread, you talked about the house, about buying it, discussed being your agent. You just got a bad feeling about this person. You really don't like him. And then instantly he starts to be really nice to you. Like, oh, you know what? Actually, I can try, actually, if you needed a ride home. Does that change your perspective, or does that make you dig in deeper? Like, hey, man, I already told you I'm not interested. Think about that. You don't convince people to get back with you. You can, but a small percentage it works on. They had to get there with a lot of evidence and a lot of reasons, and then they have to sit in it and process it themselves. Personally, I had to go on a date post-breakup to get the energy out. Date went nowhere, but we had fun, just hanging out, nothing romantic, but it was nice to go out with someone. There you go. Go on bad dates. Go on dates that don't lead to anything and have fun. It's good practice. If you're not ready for it and it didn't go well, it's still a win. It's okay. I'm heartbroken, coach. My patio girlfriend left me, so my hoo-ha in Bangkok made me feel better. Well, I know where you're coming from, Ozzy. 411. Good for you. You discovered the land of plenty. All right, we got 11 on deck, 3 likes. Maybe I'll get into one of these stories for you. She was just babbling, and I was not even there. It's apparent I miss. This sucks. The holidays are hard. Well, it does suck, man, and the holidays do make it more difficult. But you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it because you're going to keep showing up, and you're not going to give up on yourself, and you're just going to take it one day at a time, and that's all you can do right now. And the thing is, a really bad breakup, sometimes you don't see your first bad breakup till you're 40, till you're 50, till you're 35. Doesn't, it's not like the high school sweetheart. It's not like sometimes the marriage divorce wasn't that bad. But there's some breakups out there because of the way they went down, the shocking, the timing, the circumstances. They're fucked. But you aren't. You're repairable. The relationship might not be repairable, not right now, but you're repairable. And you're certainly not going to give up. And here's the crazy thing. How many people have you known that have had serious breakups? How many people have you known that had spouses pass away? Look at grandma and grandpa's lifetimes. Shit, look at your parents' lifetimes. Look at your aunts and uncles. How'd they get through it? You might say, oh, wow, they never got over that one. But they didn't give up on their life. They still had moments. And you're gonna get through this. It's funny, she asked me for space, so I gave her that. Then she asked me, why was I so distant? I suggested we just be friends and see how it went. Well, I don't know what you were really looking for. Some never do get over it. But they get on with their lives usually. And I would add, one way that you're going to increase the odds of getting over it is getting on top of it right away. Okay? Getting on top of it. Talking to myself, talking to another coach, a therapist, getting your ducks in a row. I'm going to give you some harsh advice, Mountain Timer. There's no cure for it. Heartbreak is a special potion poured onto a crap sandwich. Okay? But here's the thing. Keep showing up. You exercise. You do the things that's, it's just like if someone says, oh, you got to lose 100 pounds or something. I've never had to do that before. It sucks at first. You never exercised for 10 years. It sucks at first. You never been through a breakup like this. It sucks at first. It sucks. But you'll get out of it one way or another because you're not going to give up. And you're going to try some things. You're going to read some books. You're going to talk to some people. Right? Then why am I so upset? I don't know what you're upset about. About the date or about the breakup? All right, let's take a look here. I have a pretty good story here. So, wow, there's some good stories here. I don't know if I'm going to share them all today. This is part of what I'm working on with the book. But this chapter is called The Mouse Wheel. So I'll share a little snippet of it for you. How many we got on deck before I get into this? Let's take a look. 13. I was not looking. All right. The mouse wheel. The mouse wheel. A fuck up eats bits of your heart like rats on a log of cheese. A fuck up creates a gray cloud of uncertainty of when the storm is coming and when the goddamn sun will shine. It's a mouse wheel running in your head. The mouse sporting a shirt with words, why, I should have, and I fucked up. The question arises again and again. Why did she leave? Then an answer comes that you don't like, so you ask the same question hoping to get another answer. But the wheel continues. Again, you ask, why did this happen? You can't accept the answer and you don't believe the answer. Your mind continues. That can't be right. Why did she leave? The answers flood your mind like water in a storm drain. And just like a storm drain, the water gathers and flows into one direction. In the case of a fuck up, the water gets contaminated and leads straight to the heart. It's deeper than simply negative thoughts. It's guilt, it's shame, it's embarrassment, it's false responsibility, and it's mental pain. Now, let me break these down. Guilt is something that can linger and kills confidence and will. If you have guilt, you need to find it, address it, and exterminate it. Shame is being exposed to all for what you deem as your worst parts or actions. Shame can keep you from getting back into the game of life. Shame creates false shackles. If you have shame, identify it, accept it, and release it. Embarrassment is the worry about what others may think of you. We all want to appear a certain way to our peers. When that appearance is in direct opposition to who we are, embarrassment rises like a snake who's ready to strike. If you have an embarrassment, ask yourself if you really do care that much what others think of you. Laugh at yourself and don't fight what caused the embarrassment. Just accept it as a moment where everybody saw you at your worst. The key to realize is that it was just a moment. It doesn't define you. False responsibility is really a form of self-blame. You blame yourself for the breakup, so it induces you to take full responsibility for everything that you perceived went wrong. In reality, all relationships have two people playing their roles and making contributions to the breakup. If you are taking false responsibility, you need to lay all the cards on the table, write out your story, and really look at what you're blaming yourself for. Where are you saying that was my fault? Reframe these areas with better analysis. All of it. She's having a great time in San Diego with her friends and family. I'm trying to move on too soon. Sorry, I'm babbling. In the end, she based everything that happened because she was not in a good place after her brother died. She changed my life for the better. I wish her the best. I accept it. Acceptance is key, my friend. It's really key. I feel horrible and alone, even though I'm working hard and trying harder to better myself. Mountain Timer, do you want to call in, or is that a little bit too bold on Christmas Eve? If you have a Skype account. If not, we can do a private session later. Might be a little too much for you. All right, we'll have a story here, and this is titled "The Ego's Role." Like I said, this might be featured in the book. I'm not sure yet. I have a lot of notes going into the book. The ego's role, which is very interesting because we all have an ego in this thing, right? We all have an ego, myself included. All right, let's see here. The ego's role. We all have an ego. Our ego drives us in different directions. It feeds off our identity. If we believe ourselves to be rich and good looking, let's even say hot, then many may perceive this individual to have a big ego. Here's an example story. Todd was an investment banker who made over $1 million a year. He grew up in a poor family and never knew his dad. His mom was always just getting by, and he had privately vowed to be rich one day and end the suffering that was making ends meet week to week. He was driven at a young age to make money. He didn't want to show his creative work or make some kind of art. He wanted what many now affectionately call "fuck you" money. The root of all this was his lack of money as a child, and when he was 12 years old, his mom had a rich boyfriend for a year and a half who showed him some things. He gave him Rich Dad Poor Dad to read. He taught him some basics about the stock market. He drove around in his Mercedes, and young Todd could see and feel how this man commanded extra respect because of his money. He had a mentor, even if it wasn't long term. He knew what he wanted. Fast forward to Todd's final year of high school. He's the top of his class, and he gets into Stanford. He makes friends immediately with a group of fellow high achievers. Only all these high achievers come from different backgrounds. Some were born rich, some were middle class, and some he can't figure out. He decided to lock into the group that was born rich and already have the money he seeks. He joins a prestigious fraternity, and his best friend's dad is an investment banker. He swiftly maneuvers an internship at his friend's dad's firm. He decided he'll work his ass off and learn everything he has to. After college, there's a job waiting for him. All this enables Todd, who already is a fairly good-looking to average guy, to now buy some tailored suits, get a high-level haircut, go to a tanning booth, and of course hire a personal trainer while affording only the highest level of muscle-boosting supplements. Todd, now within 4 years of his new job, now has a Benz, six-pack abs, a penthouse with a view of downtown, and a hot girlfriend that he met while she was interning at his work. Here enters Mia, who's still in college, just got out of a serious relationship because she wanted more freedom to explore her college years without restrictions or rules from a jealous boyfriend who couldn't handle all the attention a good-looking woman gets in college. Todd and Mia start dating, and Mia is swept off her feet by the expensive dinners, the weekend getaways at the beach, and the feeling of being with a supremely confident man who seems to have it all. Mia appreciates this lifestyle because her mom has always preached to her that it's a man's duty to take care of you and provide for you. Mia's dad is a successful businessman, but at home her mother runs the show and always gets what she wants. Todd, at 27 years old, seems to have his life under control. He's reached his goal of being rich. He's consistently improved his body with years of going to the gym, and currently all his investments have been home runs. At 27 years old, Todd doesn't know it, but he believes he's fucking bulletproof. He's a living dream. It wasn't an accident, and his peers aren't short on compliments. And most are impressed with Todd. Mia and Todd continue to date. After 6 months, she moves in with Todd and quits school. Todd explains she doesn't have to worry about money and he'd like to start a family soon. Mia, at 22, believes she has found it all in Todd. She posts a photo of their food at Michelin-ranked restaurants on IG. Her friends are both happy of her and jealous. Both bring her joy. Todd decides it's time to take the next step. He buys a $25,000 diamond ring, takes Mia to the French Alps, and gets down on his knee. Mia says yes. Tears flow down her cheek. She, of course, then takes 20 minutes of photos for IG and Facebook. Todd grows irritated because he wants to take things to the jacuzzi with a nice bottle of Cab. Mia takes one last photo of the ring on her finger, next to a perfectly placed candle and 2 wine glasses that were freshly poured in the background, and in the background is a crackling fire. Storybook, perhaps? Perhaps. The next day they go to breakfast, and another couple arrives to meet them. Todd's mentor from work, Dan, who's been in the investment banking for 20 years. Dan brings his wife, Chloe. Chloe asks to see the ring immediately. She gives a fake smile, and the kind where your mouth and cheeks move but your eyes look bored. Mia noticed the fake smile, and then she looks at Chloe's ring. It's a pink diamond, and the jeweler is now dead. She mentions the jeweler as if everyone should know who he is. She laughs. My ring, I think, actually went up in value. I could probably turn it in and buy a condo downtown. She laughs out loud. Mia crouches and thinks to herself, bitch. But she also thinks, why didn't Todd get me a pink diamond? Mia has no clue that Chloe is trying to bring her down because she's actually jealous, and that she's a hot 23-year-old while Chloe is 40-something and will never look 23 again, no matter how hard she tries. All said, the web has been spun. Mia is now competing with Chloe. Todd, coming from a poor family, by all means is rich. By world standards, he's rich. But he has a limit. A $25,000 ring was extravagant purchase for him. A week goes by. Mia starts researching pink diamonds. After she got back from one of her weekly shopping trips that night, at dinner, she floats to Todd the idea of maybe upgrading her ring to a pink diamond. Todd loses it. They have their first serious fight. Mia explains to it, it's an investment. Todd shrieks, a $25,000 ring is sufficient. They don't speak at breakfast the next day. Todd goes to work thinking, God damn, how stuck up. But then that night, Mia greets him in a raincoat with nothing underneath. He's stunned. The anger dissipates. Comes 3 times. Mia says sorry, but now Todd's thinking, I'll do anything for her. She's my future wife. He runs into Dan at work and asks about the pink diamond. Dan smiles. Todd, don't buy rings you can't afford, buddy. It's not a good way to start your marriage. At that moment, Todd decided he was getting that pink diamond. Not for Mia so much, but to show Dan he could. The ring was $200K, and he figured he would just use his bonus. So he picked out the ring, bought it, and presented it to Mia that weekend, this time in Lake Tahoe, California. Within 6 months, Todd and Mia were married. Todd would get married. Todd would get Mia a car, which within a year and a half was traded in for a higher model her friend had. Todd, of course, gratingly complied that the penthouse condo Todd loved, he was urged to sell because Mia wanted a yard for her poodles. Mia was obsessed with upgrading and either outdoing her peers or at least equaling them. Todd became exhausted. They began to fight more and more as the economy took a downturn. Todd explained, "We need to tighten our belt." Mia agreed, but her subconscious map of being married to Todd didn't allow her to believe she couldn't have anything she wanted. After all, this is what her mom did. One day, Todd came home and a handyman was in the back. Todd asked, what's he fixing? Mia smiled. He's building Teddy and Roxy a doghouse. The doghouse would be 2 stories and was encrusted with fake crystal diamonds. Todd was appalled, escorted the guy out. Mia cried and then left the house with her dogs. She said she would go stay with her friend. Todd didn't understand the financial reckless behavior. Didn't she listen to him? He was now under more stress at work with the shifting economy. Mia came home 2 days later. They ignored each other. The doghouse contractor would be back over a week later. Mia decided she'd use her own money to buy it. She didn't need Todd, and besides, she thought the contractor was hot. Todd said, "Fine, you want to pay for it?" Mia loathed for him making her pay. After the contract completed the house, she invited him to stay for a beer. One thing led to another. They ended up in bed together. Mia and Todd hadn't slept together for over 2 months and hadn't had good intimacy in a year. Of course, the sex was great and Mia had a new toy, but no one to show. Todd would find out about the affair within a month from the security cameras he had posted months earlier. Mia and Todd were now broken up, facing divorce. Todd thought, how did this happen? I have everything. I do everything. I bought you everything, and I am everything a hot woman would want. His ego wouldn't allow him to accept the fact that she would want to sleep with a contractor. It ate him up day and night. Why would she leave such a guy that had it all and gave it all? Mia thought, I can't believe he'd make me pay for my dog's house. They were his dogs too, and he was the one that picked them out and walked them every day. Did he really think I'd go without intimacy for 3 months? Yes, Todd gave me a lot of things, but he still didn't know how to enjoy his money. I helped him with that. And let's face it, I'm hot and deserve the best. I'm just being honest. Her divorced friends agreed. Reality. Todd wasn't bulletproof. Just because he made lots of money and had a great body, he had created an expectation in Mia that she can get anything she wanted, and she always wanted more. And now facing a divorce in California, Todd was fucked. He'd have to give at least half his assets in monthly alimony. Mia believed she deserved it, and Todd believed he deserved more respect for how great he was. Interpretation. Both Todd and Mia let their egos swell past what was fair in a marriage. Todd believed that buying Mia whatever she wanted would make her happy forever. He never thought that one day his finances might be low and then he'd have to say no. Mia believed she deserved the best because she always got what she wanted. Todd would be hounded for months by the mouse on the wheel in his head. Why would she leave me? Did I really do anything right? I hate her. She hurt me. How did these things end up this way? And the wheel went on and on and on. My advice to Todd: recalibrate the ship. Mia is no longer on board, and the person she has become is a financial hog who gorges herself on meaningless upgrades. For someone who values making and having money, she will only take wins out from the sale. You've made lots of money before. You'll make it again. You've attracted beautiful women before. you can attract another. Only this time, go for one that makes her own money, has her own aspirations, and can look at updating material items as personal obsession. My advice to Mia, first off, she wouldn't ask for it. She still has her looks and her stuff. She suffered no real consequences. But if she did ask me, I'd say, at what point are you going to do something to make your mark on this world? Currently, you're a professional consumer. Do you have any other aspirations? What happens when looks go? Surgery? Question mark. All right, that was long-winded there. Let's see how many people stayed with that. Okay. All right. Todd learned life. I like it, Rob. Todd learned a life lesson. Todd needs to do a coaching session, yeah. That's a little piece of riding going into the book there, folks. Hope you could follow along with that. G Money, Merry Christmas. Todd sounds like an idiot, right? But I mean, this shit really happens, folks. You see how I broke that down? The reason I broke that down and wrote that out is that's the way it starts. You see how I gave your background on them, and that was a version. I was telling someone this before. It's like doing this for a while now. There's certain narratives or themes to breakups, but the interpretations are always different based on an individual's life experience. But you know, there's individuals out there like Todd. That's an example of one narrative where they're bulletproof, and they're like, "Oh man, I make the money, I look good, I do this, I got everything going right." You can do everything right, you can have everything right, and your relationship can still go wrong. And I'll tell you what, relationships based on material items, a lot more fragile. Took Moscow and Leningrad, driving to... Okay, God. My Kind of Christmas followed. But Die Hard was a great movie. Yippee-ki-yo-yay. Hans. Thanks, G-Money. Don't be Todd. Oh man, Todd's the American dream. Actually, now there you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel, but listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness. Poetic. He should toss all his money in Bitcoin. She won't be able to touch it. I bet there's a lot of people doing that now. Funny what she turned out to be. A lot of distractions in the world now, folks. Nothing to do in this quiet town. Or if you were Todd, learn the lessons. Yeah. Oh, is that what that was? Fleetwood Mac? Okay. I actually went to a Fleetwood Mac concert when I was a little kid. So it's 8:30 Pacific time. A lot of people, it's about 11:30 on the East. I made the mistake of looking. Done. Ah, man, that's one of the worst things you can do, Mountain Timer. Stay off all social media, bud. It's one of those things. It's crushing. It's crushing. I have a little piece I wrote about a social media. Social media is now a part of most of our lives. It's everywhere. It can influence us. It can make us smile. It can bring us news. It can hurt us, and it can hurt us. The truth is, we all value it and use it differently. In the case of a breakup, it allows us to passively, and in most cases, semi-covertly watch over our ex's lives, or so we think. The catch is, your ex usually knows when you viewed their post, and they know you've posted something out of character. But here's the catch. No one knows for sure. Social media gives us a puzzle piece or puzzle pieces, pictures, words, and even videos. We can view that our ex went to Disneyland with a guy you've never known or seen before. They're holding hands in the photo, and we instantly think, oh, she found someone new. The detective hat is put on, and we begin looking for more info and maybe calling a friend and getting a statement on the newly found evidence. We begin to build a case of what happened based on 3 photos that were posted with her and this man at Disneyland. The reality is, it might be nothing. The puzzle pieces are there. Worse when her mom contacts you very often. Imagine how bad it'll be when you use an avatar and stalk them on Metaverse. Well, it's funny because there's a client of mine I was just talking to. It's in his early 20s. And he's well aware of, whatever he's checking, that he goes, she's been social media stalking me, watching me. So like I said, a lot of people have their ways. I've known people that have hacked into their WhatsApp accounts, have really gone the extra mile. And the reality is, social media, you really got to hold. If I had to tell you, there's the biggest booby trap or minefield for you post breakup is if your ex is active on social media, don't look. Just don't do it. It's the equivalent of like touching the hot stove when you're a little kid. Only usually when you touch the hot stove when you're a little kid, it's enough of a pain that you won't do it again. For some reason, people with social media post breakup do it again and again. They come back, they go, I checked a picture. Now, I actually just had, this light's killing my eyes. I actually just had a client of mine. He wouldn't mind me mentioning his story, but he he checked on his ex's social media account, and he hadn't contacted her in months, and it was a hard breakup for him, really hard. And he ended up getting in to contact her after the picture, and he just went on a word slang mission of probably the worst things you can call a woman. Fat, the C word. I was like, you said that? He's like, yeah, I'm not proud of it. I'm like, how long did this go on? He goes, an hour. I was like, geez, you know, the thing that surprised me is that the woman stayed on the phone or on the text, means she cared a bit, but the things he said, and I was like, how did you get to this point? You haven't talked to her in 2 months. Like, what triggered you? He said, I went on social media and she had just posted something, and I couldn't help but check one picture after another picture after another picture. And he goes, I was just revved up. I got a hold of her on text. Yeah, they were on an hour of insults. And I said, she stayed on the phone with you that long? because that tells me she still has some kind of interest or care. She's out a bunch of friends and family. She just looks so happy. I'm going to tell you straight up, Mountain Timer, everything's moment to moment. I bet if I snapshotted a few shots of you, you'd look happy once or twice a day, or you can appear happy. But it's very easy when a camera snaps to look happy. Okay? You don't know what's really going on. But there's one thing you have control over. Do not check her social media again. It will hurt you. Okay? Because the interpretation right now is, oh, she's so happy without me. She never wants to be with me again. Oh, she's so much better off. Da, 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 da. The match that lit that wick was checking the social media. Stay away from it. Block it. Don't have it. You can get by without it. If you really want the best for someone, you want to see them happy, even if it isn't with you. Otherwise, you just want to possess them and have them be happy with you and you only. The dumper was thinking about dumping you way before it happened. Well, I mean, you know, the funny thing about that is I think if you're in a relationship longer enough, the thought of breaking up with someone strikes your mind here and there, right? The thought of what it would be like. That's why I always use the term building the case. Someone builds a case. Some people build a case really quick. And then some people go, the worst situation is when people use breaking up as a way to win. Oh, we're in an argument. Well, I'll just break up with you. What? I don't want to break up. No, I'll break up with you. And then what their hope is that you'll get on bended knee. You'll run back to them because you don't want the breakup, because that's the most extreme thing you could throw at them. I still feel like that, and I unfollowed her long ago. I'll just tell you this, folks, especially talking to women as well as men. Women will tell me how they really feel post-breakup, and a lot of them are going through it just like the guy, and for some reason the guys just assume that they're so happy without him. And the girls, a lot of times, they're going through it too. They're going through it just as much. When you break up with someone, when you lose someone, even if you chose to do it, it still hurts. I've been on both ends. It still doesn't feel good. The only time it truly dissipates, and I'm not telling people to go out and do this, is when you finally meet someone new, and that takes time. But you need to lead yourself. You need to build yourself up to that point. Depends on the situation. That can apply to many things, my friend. If they become unhappy with you, they will more than likely repeat the behavior with future partners. Millbilly. All right, folks. I just wanted to check in with everyone on Christmas and wish you a Merry Christmas. Millbilly, I'm happy to see you're doing all right. University Pipe. A merry Christmas to you too. Once again, T-Mac. Merry Christmas to you. G-Money, the one and only. Rob, Guardian at the Gate. Mountain Timer. We'll eventually get a coaching session in there. Hang in there, bud. Everyone's been there before. You're going to get through this, man. I promise you. And you're in the worst time right now. And just show up tomorrow morning. Do your activities, make your breakfast, be a good father. This breakup, Mountain Timer, does not define you. I promise you, you're more than this. You're better than this. You'll get through it. Just show up tomorrow. Get through that day tomorrow. And get through the next. And then we'll do a coaching session and we'll see where we're at. MC, have a great Christmas too, hon. All right, folks. I'll catch you tomorrow, possibly, maybe the next day. Otherwise, have a good one.